Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my great short stories series, we are working on short story 30. We're having our discussion today of the short story we read on Tuesday, Ernest Hemingway's Hills Like White Elephants. So we're going to begin with the comprehension questions at the end of the document that I gave you in the class, and then we'll be discussing different elements of the story and his use of English, and it'll be oh so happy of a time. So listen, let's get started. First, a little bit about me. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom quiet. Tune in to the new words that you're learning when you are speaking so that I can correct you and give you feedback. Use what you're learning actively. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And right now on screen, you can see the graphic. So when you get our document open in the chat window, it'll take you to this page. And actually, I updated the graphic and I didn't download it, so this is the old one. But anyway, it'll look something like this. There's a mistake on the screen if you can spot it. Hills does not have an apostrophe S. I corrected it, but I didn't download it yet. Anyway, that's the graphic you'll see. Let's say hello to all of you. So welcome back, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. How are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm doing well.
Excellent. Very good. And Wellington, nice to see you again. How are you, Wellington?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm all right. And we've got Andre. Andre, you weren't in Tuesday's class, were you? I don't think you were.
Yes, I was in the Tuesday class.
Oh, you were. Okay, great. Okay. Let's say hello to Yuki's back. Hello, Yuki, as well.
Hello. I like this story also very much. After the class, I read it again, and especially I love the dialogue of this short story. It's lovely. Yes.
I couldn't hear the last word. You love the what?
Especially I love the dialogue.
Dialogue. Oh, okay. Listen, we're having some.
I'm sorry. I hear a lot of noise from. Thank you. So I love the dialogue that takes place in this lovely story.
It's a classic.
Yes, it's a classic, but
a Hemingway classic.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Let me just say a quick hello to Rise. Am I saying your name right? Rise? This is Rise.org. You have to turn your microphone back on, dude. We can't hear you talking. Hello? Rise, you got to turn your microphone.
Your microphone was turned off because of your noise.
I'll talk. Rise, microphone is not working. So you have to, hold on. So when you get it plugged in, why don't you test it, and when you get it plugged in and it's working, turn it on and say hello to the group, okay? Because right now we can't hear you. Nope, it's not working. Sorry, it's not working. I'll tell you what, if there's any problems, you can write a message in the chat window and I'll try to help. But I'm going to begin the class now, so try to work with your microphone. When you get it working, we'll say hello and we'll get started with you, okay? So look, let's move on here. I'd like to begin, because Tuesday we read the whole story. It's never happened in the history of great short stories, but we read the whole story in one class. Miraculous. So I'd like to start with
it's a record.
It is the first of its kind. I'd like to start with some of these questions. If I call on you in particular, it just means I'd like you to start the discussion. but I'm really talking to the entire class, okay? So, Yuki, you love the dialogue. Why don't you
Yes.
start with the very first question? From what point of view is the story told, and why?
It's a very difficult question.
It is.
Uh, I think maybe firstly we have to pay attention to the title of this story. He looked like white elephant. What white lion symbolize? I think it symbolizes the woman who has pregnancy. I think.
Wait a second. Back up. Hold on a second.
Can I say that or
You can,
about?
but back up a second. You're just dropping a bomb. Pregnant? What are you talking about? You're dropping a bomb on us. We never talked about that. So what's going on then?
Because firstly, you asked me a very key question, so I can't stop referring to the main theme of this story. I think the girl is pregnant. She it is it is of course it is it does not tell in this story apparently there is no words in this story about pregnancy, but Hemingway apparently suggest that the girl has a pregnancy. So I think the hill symbolizes the abdomen of woman, swollen abdomen, and in the first of story, the girl mentioned about said that the mountain, Aboni area, Ebro, mountain in the Ebro, mountain, yes, mountain over Ebro River looks like a white elephant. I think she want to say that she I think she is referring to his condition that condition she referred to the pregnant woman that means her.
And why do you think? What gave you that idea? Not the symbolism, but how did you know that she was pregnant? Because he never mentions it in the story.
For example, there is some very suggesting dialogue. For example, she there is such a sorry. Just a minute. He said he sorry. I lost my mind. Sorry. Just a minute. He said that he don't.
Why don't you paraphrase it? What do you remember? And then you can find it.
So it just he after the mundane conversation, he American referred to the operation, and he said it just to let the air in, and also he said, but I don't want anybody but you, So such a conversation apparently suggests the fact that the girl is pregnant.
Yeah, I always wondered what he meant by.
I think so.
I always wondered what he meant by "let the air in." It's such a strange line. Well, Yuki just dropped a bomb on us. It exploded. What do you
But
think?
after reading all the story, I think now I can
Hey,
reveal
as
the secret of this story.
yeah, as long as you can justify it in the text somewhere, it's legitimate. Absolutely. So, what do you think, class?
Because it's the basis of this story.
I
Without
think
understanding the fact that she is pregnant, we don't understand completely about this story. It's very
What,
important.
Daniel?
I think maybe the writer style is to give a problem, but they don't say what is the real problem, and
Wait a second.
you,
They or
he
he?
he he
You mean the author?
he the
Yeah.
author,
Okay. Okay.
yes. Then Yuki thinks the girl is pregnant, and another person could think,
Could interpret, not think, but
could
interpret.
interpret, yes, could
Mm-hmm.
interpret other, maybe big problem between a couple, or between two
Mm-hmm.
friends, or between father and daughter,
Yeah.
because we really don't know about their relation.
Hmm. So his style is to admit details, right? He tries to take out everything that's unnecessary, and we can say open to interpretation
He wants you
rather
to
than
think,
yeah. He wants you to think. Absolutely, absolutely. Let me
I
just see.
use
Sorry.
your imagination.
I'm sorry, just let me say, I'm sorry. I checked Hemingway out, and I know that he often uses technique, iceberg theory.
Uh-huh.
Iceberg theory means he believed the deeper meaning of story should not be evident on the surface. So I think this story is a very symbolic style of Hemingway. So fact is not to tell apparently in the story. It is hidden in the hidden in the story. But so we have to just imagine the meaning of story.
Okay, absolutely. And in the iceberg theory, which he was very famous for,
Yes.
he said that 2/3 of the meaning should be hidden below the text, and the 1/3 that's sticking out is the text itself. But even if you take it out, he had the theory that the reader, the modern reader, because he was the modernist, one of the great modernists, the modern reader can still feel that meaning. It's there somehow in the words. It's interesting because the first time you read the story and you read Operation and you know more or less the time period, you might think they're talking about a military operation, that she's a spy. And I think that might have been part of the story to kind of throw you off a little bit. Why do I say that? Because we know it's the Spanish Civil War, it's 1937, it's a dangerous time, and I think he might even have been playing with the idea of operation, right? Maybe. But it's very soon in the story we realize it doesn't really mean that. So, there we go. Well, let's go to the first question then. Wellington, you were here on Tuesday, right? You were reading the story with us, I believe, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
fantastic. What do you think about the first question then? From what point of view is the story told? What do you think?
What, the second question?
Well, the first, we really haven't clarified that.
Okay, I think I agree with you. For me, I think the first time I think it was they are spies,
Right.
and because she was drinking, And okay, I think in this time they the people drink too much. Different now.
Different
We
than
know,
now.
yes, different than now that we know that drink is not good for babies.
Right, right.
But I don't think she was pregnant.
Why not?
I, f- I don't think she was pregnant. I don't think this.
But why
For
not?
me, why not?
Yeah.
Because was drinking
But
drinking
as
beer, drinking licorice.
okay, hang on a second. What's the operation in the story, everyone? What operation are they referring to?
And
That's
for me, it's related with the war,
no, no, no,
with
no.
the civil war. I don't think I don't think I don't think if I don't fault in other situation.
Well, if we follow the logic that she's pregnant, then the operation that she's going to is what? Class.
Sorry, say it again.
If we follow the logic that she is pregnant, what is the operation she's going to have? What are they talking about?
It's of course operation for abortion.
An abortion.
Abortion.
Yeah.
But
So they are talking about the procedure in question. It's the abortion.
And here's a question for you. Why do you think the word abortion is never mentioned? Forget about the iceberg theory. Besides that, culturally, think about the context. 1937, it was a long time ago.
yeah.
Why do you think the word abortion also might not have been mentioned at the time?
At that time, abortion is considered as maybe considered considered abnormal from the Christian point of view. So
Abnormal? Or use a
it
better
is not
word?
accepted.
Not accepted, yeah.
Yes, by society,
How about,
especially Christian society. So
how about immoral?
immoral.
Immoral. Okay.
But
Yeah.
they were Americans, and most
True.
Americans do not Christians.
No, that's not true.
No, that's not true.
No,
Why?
no, it's not. Listen, you're right, Wellington, in a way. Wait,
Basic
hang
belief
on.
of
Just wait. 1 second. Wait. 1 second. Wait. I just want to clear up this one point because Wellington, you're right that they're not Catholic, right? Most Americans are not Catholic. Especially at the time, it was really not easy to be a Catholic because they were the minorities, and only in the 1960s onward was it more accepted. So you're right about that. But American was, of course, overwhelmingly Christian and very fundamentalist too, actually, right from the beginning. So I just want to clarify that point. But you're
majority
right.
of them is Protestant. So
Absolutely. Right. But still, it was considered
but
immoral.
I think it's a good point, Wellington. The main character of this story is American. Yeah, American. This man is not apparently, but he recommend the girl to take operation. Yeah, abortion. Why? Maybe he is thinking about the money cost when after she bear the children, bear the child. So it is very symbolic that the main character of this story is American. Yeah, American money and abortion. they are such a these concepts very closely related to of this story, based on this story.
Okay, money. But is money really an issue? I know maybe in the context, sure. But in the story, is the issue money? Why do you think? I mean, let me get some other ideas too. But by the way, I want to go back to Rise for a second because I wanted to see if your microphone is working now.
Yeah,
Rise, are you? Ah, there we go.
hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very good. And where are you from, Rise?
I'm from Algeria.
From Algeria. Okay, nice. And Rise, I don't know, you weren't here on Tuesday's class, right? So you
No.
haven't. Ah, okay. So we read the story on Tuesday, and we're talking about it today. So if you haven't read the story, it's going to be very hard to participate,
Yeah.
just so you know. All right?
Yeah.
But you've got the link to the material. You can always read the story after class by going to class materials and downloading it, okay?
Okay, okay.
All right. And you've got the link there in the chat window right now as well.
Okay, yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So let's get some other opinions too. Why, this is not one of the questions on the screen, but why is the man pushing the woman to have this operation? What do you think, class?
As I mentioned, maybe Americans, this American program of this story, thinking about the cost after bearing a children, bearing a child. Besides this, this couple, this couple live a life of traveling and drinking. So the basis of his living is freedom. So I think the man don't want to lose the current relationship with a girl and freedom of them.
So having the child would stop them from living a free
Yes.
life. Ah. There
Maybe
you
then
go.
they cannot they will not be able to continue to travel all over the world after bearing a child, and possibly the man have to work hardly for raise a
Okay.
child for raising a child.
He'd have to get a real job.
Yes. But
All right.
he don't want to currently.
By the way, just welcome back to Adela. Hi, long time no see, Adela. How are you?
Yes, hello.
All right, so don't forget, you've got the link to the short story because you probably didn't have a chance to read it. You weren't here on Tuesday, but the link's in the chat window there as well. We're talking about Hills Like White Elephants, which is a great story because the language is simple. But as we talked about earlier, the meaning goes well beyond the words. It's all sort of implied. Let me ask a few questions about the characters. So let's talk to let's get some female perspectives here. So Shadow, you were here on Tuesday, right?
No, I wasn't here, but
Oh, no.
I read the story.
Oh,
And
but you
I
read the
don't
story.
know-
Okay, good.
I don't
Listen.
know how you get that pregnant. I don't know, really.
Well, if the operation isn't an abortion, then what is the operation? So Hemingway is going to try to imply everything. He's not going to come out and say it. And one more point about the abortion, about the operation. I remember it's 1937. So one reason he might not say the word abortion is because he's acknowledging, perhaps he's acknowledging that it's a word that you just couldn't say. So besides his style, it's something that people didn't talk about. It was immoral at the time, and it's still a huge issue today in the United States. There's all kinds of laws being passed right now to stop it, and all kinds of laws passed in other states. There's a huge conflict. So I even think that he might have done it on purpose, to acknowledge the fact that it's a word you just couldn't say at the time, right? It's an idea. Let me ask you about the character. Let's get a female perspective. What do you think about the character of Jig, the woman? Her name is Jig. I don't know what it stands for, but what do you think about her character? How would you describe her? What do you think about her relationship to the man? As you read the story, what was your impression of Jig?
Yeah, I think Zeg is. First of all, I don't think they are husband and wife.
Okay.
And they in this story they didn't mention if she's American or not, but obvious that she's not American because they will said there are a couple of American couples, and they said the American and the girl. So maybe she's not. And
She's
in
called
this,
the girl, right? Isn't that a little strange? Why is she called the girl and he's called the American? Does that bother you?
Because I think they are not married.
Probably not a married couple.
Apparently.
But I think it's important that she's called the girl and he's called the American. Is she a girl or is she a woman? She's not really a girl, right?
I think she's still young. And she's feeling with desperate, especially first half of this story. She think she doesn't care about herself, about his pregnancy.
Well, she says she doesn't, right? So we have to either choose to believe her or not.
He said that she doesn't care about herself, maybe.
Right.
Yes.
And so that's a little bit about Jig. Let's talk about this American. Actually, we could say a lot more about her, but let's talk a little bit about the American, the other guy. So what do we think about his character? Well, Daniel, what was your impression of the American, of his character?
A young man or middle-aged man. Maybe a volunteer soldier for Spanish Revolution, for Republican.
How do you know that?
Because of the how I said yesterday, it's the time of the civil war in Spain, and an American in Spain in that time. I think only the only way was fighting in the war.
Right. So the
maybe
people...
it could be a doctor from, but I think it's implied in the war in some way.
So if they're both young and he's a volunteer, he's already done something very romantic in the general sense of the word romantic, right? Because he's left his country to come and fight for a cause, the anti-fascist cause, right? So it kind of...
I think he's a romanticist, maybe. I suppose he loves freedom and traveling and maybe free love. But his behavior and his, especially his attitude toward the girl sounds a little selfish and arrogant.
Selfish and arrogant. Why?
Yes.
Tell me
because he, from the lines, I have a his behavior makes impression makes impression that he's only think about himself. And he doesn't care about the girl's feeling.
Right. For example, if he's pushing
Wait.
her to get an
For
abortion.
example, when they have an order, takes an order, he doesn't care about the girl's preference.
Does he order for her? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but he maybe she said that this alcohol looks like licorice. Licorice, yeah, but he doesn't care about it. He continued to order the liquor called Anis del Toro.
Anis del Toro, licorice of the bull. Anis del Toro.
So on the whole, he doesn't hear what the girl is saying. He is only thinking about himself. Such an impression makes me from this story.
All right, here's a question. What options do they have? Think about the situation. They're waiting for a train. They're going to get on the train, or maybe he's going to put her on the train. It's not 100% clear. I suppose you could even say maybe he's going to get on the train, right? We don't really know, but we get the sense that the train has something to do with the operation. But what choices do they really have? What are the choices they're faced with? The unspoken choices. Well, one choice is the operation. Is there another choice?
Another choice, of course, bearing the child.
Yeah. So the second choice is having the child. And if they have the child, what does that mean in terms of, being part of society? What would they have to do, in my opinion at least, what would
Making
they
a
have to
family.
do? Yeah,
Yes.
and even
It
more.
means the making a family.
Which implies what?
It implies losing the freedom for the man.
Because?
Come back America.
Yes.
What's that? Go back to America and do what? Besides getting a job.
So
Stop doing revolution war.
And besides that, well, maybe not, but how about getting married? Got two choices, I think. I'm saying the implication is they have an abortion, they continue being a bunch of hippies before there were hippies, or they get married. Those are the two choices that seem to be presented to them. And the man is pushing heavily for choice number one, right? So, just out of curiosity, if the man is pushing to not get married, we assume they're not married. They know each other. He calls her Jig, right? They know each other. He's got a special nickname for her. So why do you think, besides the fact that he's a jerk, why do you think he might not want to get married? What's the implication in terms of the theme? Is there anything implied by not wanting to get married? Socially, I mean?
Socially, he has to take a responsibility, but I think he want to avoid these kind of that kind of responsibility.
So it's partly about responsibility. By the way, feel free to talk to add any comments. I'm talking to the whole class here. Hello, class. Are you there?
I think the problem it's not the assume the responsibility because they in the text we there are mention there are lines that we we read that he he has he worries he worry about her and
He says, I think he
sometimes
says that, right? Yeah.
yeah sometimes in the line is we see that she talk that she don't care about her, and after he talks that he care about her, and sometimes I think this like in the Little Prince,
Mhm.
when you are responsible for one that you um, for one person that you said you like, you care. I don't know the phrases, the correct phrase, but you are responsible for everyone that you
Right.
touch, né? In one part the text they talk. I care about you, and he looks he looks was
He looks as if he looks as if he's what? Is he genuine, Wellington? Do we really believe him, or is it just a bunch of talk? I think that's the problem. He says he's worried, but I wonder if he really means it. Is he just being self-centered, or does he really care about her? And when she says she doesn't care about herself, I
On
mean,
the surface,
yeah.
he is caring about her. I agree with you. But under the surface, the man tried to give the girl a feel that he is letting her decide
Ah.
herself. But in reality, he tried to convince her to have an operation. That's why in the end of the story, in the second half of the story, the girl is uncomfortable with their conversation, and she tried to persuade the man that he's quiet. So she said 5 times, uh, quiet. Yeah, maybe.
And the story ends with this line.
Yes.
Do you feel better? He asks. I feel fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I feel fine.
Yes.
So Daniel, you think
Please,
that
would you please stop talking?
right, yes.
Yes.
She begs him to stop talking.
So she was completely annoyed with
Or
with
or she
the man's conversation.
right? Or she knows that it's just talk. She doesn't believe him, and she just because here's the thing: if he's not going to, if she maybe she doesn't want the child either. Maybe she does, right? We don't really know. We get the feeling that she's a victim. It certainly feels that way in the story. But by not choosing to have the child, it kind of implies that he's choosing not to get married. And if it's choosing not to get married, it implies that he doesn't make a commitment to her. And she's in this terrible position and she's going to be left. She could be left alone. Maybe he puts her on the train and walks away, right?
Right.
She's certainly in a dangerous position. So I feel fine is at the very least ironic, at the very least, right? Maybe she certainly doesn't seem to feel fine. So Daniel, you say that it's a very open story, a very open ending. What do you think
Yes,
that?
I
What do you
think.
think Hemingway's intention was in leaving this open ending? Then, I mean, besides making us think, what's
Okay.
he trying to get us to think?
Mm, After reading the story, the writer's intention is you start to speculate all day thinking about the story. When you go to bed, don't you can't sleep because you are thinking, what is the operation?
that's
Because
that's what you were doing last night. You're staying
Yes,
awake thinking about what is the operation? What
yes,
is it?
yes.
Um,
I don't think this type of story too much open for me.
Open.
it's too open for
What
you,
does
is
it
it
Open,
mean?
right?
too open. Yes,
What does it mean?
it's I like at
Apparent.
the end of the story uh, to have things close.
So a clear ending and a clear resolution,
Yes,
is that right?
yes, yes, yes.
Ah,
But listen,
maybe.
if we had that, would this be a modern story? Is life clear and resolute? Does life end in very clear, unambiguous ways, or is life open and open to interpretation? Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe that's what he was trying to do, trying to create a story that was more like the reality that we're living. And in 1937, no one knew what was going to happen, right? Europe was just about, Europe was basically in World War II, just about. No one knew what was going to happen. So maybe he's trying to reflect that in the story, this that life was an open, like as we say, a crapshoot. Craps is the game where you roll the dice. Everyone puts money down. It's a crapshoot. No one knows what's going to happen. Just a theory for you, Daniel. What do you think about that?
We can see in the story too, maybe as a miracle of the life of the writer, because I think they like to drink a lot, and
Absolutely. It's a
it's
major
funny.
part of the story. Yeah.
It's funny the story to describe literally. They drink beer, then they drink Anis del Toro, and it's a reflection of the country where he was living in a part of his life.
um, what
The
does what does alcohol mean to the man? Does it mean something different to the man than it does to the woman?
maybe in this time it's not different because I think in America, smoke drinking is a a normal stuff.
Normal, yeah, well, drinking was seen. Maybe everyone did it, but if you couldn't stop, no one was very sympathetic about it, right? Alcoholism wasn't really understood at the time. So for me, I'll just point out one thing. Morality seems to be a major issue in the story. Abortion is never mentioned, but that seems to be what they're talking about. Alcohol is there, and there's obviously moral issues about alcohol, particularly, you know, if in the religious kind of conservative way that America was. And these people are free spirits. They've left America. They're living a wild lifestyle.
Yes.
So they're challenging these things.
I think he as I mentioned, I think he loves the freedom, and alcohol is a symbol of freedom. At the same time, he don't want to follow the rule of society. That's his principle principle of life. So it's something like Americans' point of view. They prefer to be free than binded, than being binded by the social rule. Many of them has been immigrated from England. England is well known as a very traditional society and traditional rule. So that that feeling maybe influenced on this story.
Okay, absolutely.
I mean the feeling of freedom.
Absolutely. And let me ask our girls, Adela and Shadow, I've got a question. You're representing all of womanhood here, okay? So very important question. Does it bother you to read about a pregnant woman drinking alcohol like this? Does it bother you?
No, it's it's very bad uh, mm, for the baby.
Of course.
Mm.
Of course.
But it's another time, I think. The story is another time less restrictive than today. Today, I think mothers or future mothers don't smoke, don't drink alcohol, have a healthy life. I think
So
it's another
they didn't
time.
know, right? So they didn't. So maybe she just didn't know how bad it was.
Sorry?
So maybe the woman, the girl, Jig, in the story, maybe she just doesn't understand how bad it is.
Um,
Perhaps she
maybe
doesn't understand. Is that the idea?
um, maybe they don't like this baby have the idea to don't continue the pregnant.
Yeah, that's a point too. If she knows that she's going to have an abortion, I
Yes.
guess it doesn't really matter. I guess that's part of the point, which is it's just depressing. The whole situation is pretty depressing if you think about it. Um, okay, here's a controversial statement for you, class. Tell me what you think about this idea. Alcohol, I think, Daniel, you did a very good thing by bringing up alcohol. It's really important. Here's an idea. I'll put it on the screen there. This is my idea about alcohol in the story. What do you think?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's true. Sometimes to start a conversation with people don't know, or when it's a complicated subject, maybe the alcohol relax the people say things that the other time not not
Wouldn't
say.
say. Wouldn't
Yes,
say.
wouldn't say
Right. It's
things.
we call
Yeah.
it a social lubricant. It makes
Yes,
socializing
yes.
smoother.
It's a
But
lubricant to the relationship.
okay. And what do you think, Wellington, about this idea? Hills Like White Elephants explores the way alcohol is sometimes used as a buffer. What's a buffer, Wellington? Is that clear? A buffer.
Yes. For me, it's clear. Like it's move the situation. The alcohol. Maybe in this story, the alcohol have the power. It's moving the situation, turn the situation more. More light.
Yeah, well, they avoid it. They basically they don't even refer to the word by name. So yeah, not just lighter, they are trying to be light. It does seem like it does seem like he's the one that tries to talk about it though. It does
Yes,
seem
yes.
like he brings it up more than her.
Indeed, alcohol is works as a buffer in difficult conversation, but we can think about this story that the man used the alcohol to take a difficult conversation with a girl and convinced her to take take a operation. Yeah, that means maybe mean the cunning character of this man. So I think he's enough cunning to clever to use make of alcohol to take advantage in the conversation.
So it's a strategy for him.
Yes, strategy. Yes.
Ah, there you
It
go.
sounds a little sly. It looks like a sly character of this man.
By the way,
Maybe,
go ahead.
sorry.
Ella, sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe the alcohol, you could say inconvenient through or inconvenient conversation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The man used such a
yes. It's necessary a little alcohol maybe use as a buffer, but if you drink a lot, you lost the north.
You
I
lose
think.
the north.
Yes.
You lose your direction.
Yes.
Now I noticed why the girl said that compared alcohol, liquor called anis de tol, compared to
Licorice.
Licorice is a very black substance. Very it not doesn't so sweet. It's sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet.
It's like medicine. Yeah. Why she said such a thing? She compared the liquor to liquorize. Yeah. Very strange thing, like medicine.
Well, licorice is like candy too. You can give licorice to your kid, and it's almost like she's talking about candy like she's a child.
That doesn't matter. I would like to say that she understands the main purpose of the man. She understands that he want to avoid the conversation, avoid the
She understands that he's manipulating
his
her.
intention. Yeah. Yes. She understands that he want to manipulate her. He want to convince her. So she said such a thing. She compared to the licorice.
I don't understand the comparison though. Why would she compares it to licorice? How does that show that
you
she
remember
understands?
In the first of story, the man recommended to drink liquor, yeah. And the girl said it looks like licorice, yeah. It is suddenly, she said. But the man after that he doesn't pay attention what the girl said and continue to order. So it's a very subtle implication of their feeling. No?
Well, I found the part where it's licorice. It tastes like licorice, the girl says on page 3. She puts the glass down. That's the way with everything. And then on the next page, hold on. Oh, where is it? That's the way with everything. That's the way. That's the way with everything. Why? No, you wouldn't have. I might have, just because you say it doesn't prove anything. Hold on a second. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Hold on a second. Wait.
That place is.
Yeah, there. 4.
Right.
It's strange to the name of the anise because it's anise del mono in Spain.
Yes.
This is a brand.
Right.
Is monk.
Oh, monk. Okay. Mono is monk. Okay.
Yes, and maybe it's a reference about Spain country because we say the Spain is a bull skin.
What is it? Spain is a bull. What?
The countryside, the shape about Spain in a time was the name the bull skin.
Skin, like
Skin,
the skin on your arm, skin.
Piel, no, sorry.
Yeah, skin. Yeah,
Skin,
yeah.
Yes, skin, no.
skin.
Bull skin.
A bruised skin?
Yes, it's
Really?
as a bull skin you extend. This is the shape of Spain country.
Ah.
Maybe it's a reference in Spain
Like a piece,
because
a piece of the skin cutted, right?
yes, when
Yeah.
you kill
Ah.
a bull and you take off the skin,
Right, right.
if you put in on the floor,
Oh,
this is
like a rug, like a rug.
yes, it's
Ah.
more or less the same shape as Spain. I don't know, but it's strange to change mono for toro. I don't know, eh?
Adela, I think you win the cookie today.
Yes, that's a good point. It looks like a rag of blue skin.
No, but the fact that it was a monk, there's a famous brand, and Hemingway changes it from a monk to a bull. That seems significant. Because just the same way, like it almost seems like, okay, the character avoids getting married. You'd have to go to a church to get married. Right? He changes things. Something about Spain and freedom.
Also implication.
Seems like it.
Uh, uh, Adela, is Anis de Toro famous in the Spain? Alcohol.
Anís del mono in a time, not in this moment. In a time was
It's old alcohol.
yes, it's an important alcohol drink.
But it's called Del Mano, not Del
Del
Toro.
mono, it's del mono.
Right.
Mono.
And the picture in the anís del mono,
Yeah.
the picture a monkey is very similar to Darwin. If you
You said
say
monkey or monk?
Monks, yeah, maybe you said. Not monkey, but monks.
Monkey.
Monkey.
Monkey?
Yes.
Animal.
The monkey from
Animal,
Gibraltar.
Okay.
I thought it monks. And
Me too. I thought it was monk.
you said yes, John. So.
I thought it was. I'll see if I can get a picture. Oh, I got a picture of it here. Oh, okay.
You have the
Alice
picture?
Del Mano. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see if I can get it on screen. Yeah, you're right. There's some big monkey drinking a beer or drinking anise.
So John, you misunderstood.
I thought she said.
Yes, it's same, no, to the Darwin picture. They are a reference in Spain, I think.
Give me a second. I'll see if I can get a picture on screen here too. There you go. There's a statue. There's a statue, and here's the label. Let's see if I can get a close-up picture. It's a little bit small. Hold on. That's small too. These are all very small. Let me see if I can get a bigger one.
Is it monkey?
Definitely monkey. So it's a reference to Darwin. Is that right? Maybe it's kind of a joke.
I have an idea, or someone have an idea to is against the Darwin theory.
Against evolution.
Yes, the evolution theory used to the picture of Darwin and change a little, but have a beard. I think it's
The monkey looks like Darwin, at least.
What is the
So it could
relationship
be. Well,
between
we have to.
monkey and
We have to. I have
evolution?
to cut you off. Sorry, I have to cut you off because I have to start the next class. Sorry to
I'm
cut
sorry.
it so short. But listen, we can definitely talk a little bit more about Hemingway, and we'll be reading more Hemingway in the coming classes. All right. But I'm going to start the business class right now, so stick around for that, and I will see you in the next short stories. Sorry to cut you off so soon. Bye for now, everyone.
Thank you for the good
Um,
story. I
I
like.
have I share one
Sorry.
more.